All right, so I came over here to Starbucks after picking up my son from summer camp today because he wanted some. What'd you want?
Whippy cream.
He wanted some whipped cream. So he came over here. He also got a Kit Kat. He sold me on that one. That was not the original plan. But anyway, my point is this. To be honest, we received less than exceptional service here today, and I do think that's pretty uncommon at Starbucks, honestly. But my point I want to make is that I identify myself. I am a generous person. I like to be generous, and I like to tip. And so that is who I am. That is what I do.
Me too.
I like to bless people. And here's the point, though. Okay.
I know the point.
I think we tend to associate tipping with merit, and
Merit.
you know, does the person that I'm about to tip, did they earn that? Did they earn it? Are they deserving of it? How much do they deserve? And sometimes, honestly, when I go to places, I feel like if I'm just basing whether or not I tip or how much I tip, I base it on my mind automatically goes to what was deserved based on how good the service was, maybe how friendly they were or weren't or whatever. I think that's normal. But that's not how I want to show up. Here's why. Because the reality is this. Jesus Christ died. He gave up, he offered himself up as a living sacrifice so that I and all my brothers and sisters could receive something now and in the future that is just like beyond wildest imagination by way of gifts and blessings in life. So again, now and in the future. He did that. I did nothing to earn that. I could never try to avoid.
What are you talking about?
He's trying to video bomb me. My son.
Who are you talking to?
I did nothing to deserve. I could never earn or merit. I could never buy my way into the family of God. But I'm in the family.
Who do you make?
It's just amazing to consider, to contemplate this.
Who are you doing this to?
So when I am out and about, and I'm in a service, based like
Who are you
environment.
doing this for?
I'm in a service-based environment, and it comes to tipping. I am always thinking about what my God did for me. I did not deserve. I could never earn it. I don't deserve it. And then I think about every single person that was involved in, whatever the delivery of the service or whatever it is was. And I just think, you know what? These are just people. I have no idea anything about their background. I don't know what went into shaping their thought processes, their personalities. I don't know what kind of a day they had. I don't know what kind of family they come from. I don't know what kind of hardships they're experiencing right now. And so I factor that in, and then even when they don't deserve it, I tip anyway. I tip anyway. When they don't deserve it, I tip. I tip whether they deserve it or not. That's what I do. That's how I like to roll. And now, also, I will add, though, listen, when I feel like they have done exceptionally well, and even sometimes when it's mediocre, I tip beyond. Like I tip like beyond, I think, what is normal. I really like to blow people's minds with tips. It's a fun thing to do, to just explode someoe's mind, their world, their heart. I have had so many people break down in tears. I've seen it after they got a tip from me, and I love that. That's something I love about tipping and being generous, and just trying to be gracious and having that be just part of who I am and how I like to live my life. in how I'm teaching my son to be in the world, how to show up, because I think it's a grace-filled way of living, and for me, it's the only way I want to be, and I wanted to share that with you. So who could you tip today who doesn't deserve it? Who could you smile at today, or say a kind word today to someone who you don't really feel like deserves it? I challenge you, I dare you, go on and do it, and just see how it makes you feel.
It's not recording.
No, it was. Oh. Alright, so there are just a few more things that I wanted to share about tipping. After I finished the first part of the video, I thought there were several more things that I really wanted to say that I didn't get to share. And so, sitting here at my son's ninja class, and I figured, what better opportunity? So, I got some notes, so I don't miss anything. Although I have a feeling I'll probably talk about this another time. But I wanted to talk about how it's my personal framework that I show up how I want to be in the world, regardless of, what other people are doing. And so I want to be a generous person. Like, that's who I am at the core. That's who I want to show up as. And so regardless, again, of whether or not I feel like people, quote unquote, deserve, subjectively, whatever that means, but whether or not I feel like they deserve it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to bless somebody regardless of whether or not I feel like they deserve it, at the level that I want to. And sometimes it's so much that, like, these little goofy little kiosks, I can't stand those kiosks, or the little handheld things in the restaurants. But a lot of times that I'm tipping so much that, like, I can't even, it won't even let me. The machine caps me, which is just unbelievable. Or, like, this happens to me all the time in Uber. When I'm tipping for an Uber ride, it won't let me tip beyond where I want to. Like, it caps me. But I'm just saying, like, that's how much I want to bless somebody. I do it because that's who I want to be, and I'm not going to let somebody else and their way of being determine who I show up as. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is the fact that when I do that, and when I show up and be generous in a situation, regardless of, again, whether or not I feel like someone deserves generosity or not, or they've earned it, it tells my brain something really important, which is that I have more than enough to bless somebody with. Because you might be thinking, well, I think that'd be great, that'd be nice to be able to do that, but I'm not in a situation where I can really do that. Well, what if you flip that on its head? What if you actually, as a result of you doing that, what if you doing that changed your situation? And I actually believe that it does, and it will. I mean, the Bible talks about how you reap what you sow. And if you're sowing generosity, if you're sowing grace, you're sowing kindness, then God's word is true. It never returns to him void. You will reap that. So I fully believe that. I was thinking about this story I've heard Tony Robbins tell before. I can't remember how it ends, but it was such a cool story. I probably heard him tell this story years ago, and he talked about how when he was really young, maybe 20 or something, and he was broke. He didn't have, I think he had like $21 or something to his name, and he decided he wanted to take somebody out to dinner, like his mom, or I can't remember. The point of the story is he was Okay, I think it was actually he was just by himself, and he was at a restaurant, and there was a little boy and his mom, and he ended up like paying for the meal, even though it was all the money he had. He didn't have any more money than that, and I remember exactly how it ended, to where he went ahead and he spent all his money, and this little boy, he paid for this little boy's dinner and his mom's dinner, and because he just wanted to, from his heart, and somehow or another he ended up getting a whole bunch of money, like that day or the next day, like somebody gave him, something, and that's just the way that kind of stuff works. And you look at Tony Robbins, like who he is and how he shows up in the world. He's a very generous person, and he tells a story about how when he was 11, a stranger was generous to his family. And even though that day, because like that was the day his dad left their family, the day that they received a gift on Thanksgiving, even though that day was one of the worst days of his life, he took it to mean something different. It ended up being one of the best days of his life, because it impacted him so greatly, because he gave it the meaning that strangers care. Strangers care. That's the meaning he assessed to that whole scenario, and that changed his whole life, and it shaped who he is. And this man has done more good in the world than most people. So anyway, I just think it's a great mindset to adopt, and I'd really be curious to know like what your thoughts are on that, what your take is on that. The other thing I wanted to say about it, and then I'm looking at my notes, I think that was it, is that when I do things like that and I give, for one thing, it feels good. It feels good to do it at a level where it's gonna like really blow somebody's mind. It's just like the most euphoric feeling. So like I secretly get blessed by it, and also it reminds me that I serve, and I was created by an infinite God who created out of nothing. And then he came to the earth and created out of nothing. And he tells us we can do the same. So it just embeds in my mind that like I can do that. And even if I think maybe for whatever, like I don't have it to do it, is that really true? No, it challenges me. It has challenged me over the years, and so then my generosity has only grown, because I'm constantly reinforcing the truth that resources are not finite; they're infinite. God is infinite, and that's who I serve. That's who I belong to. I'm a child of God. And then oftentimes when I do give, I will it sort of buys me an opportunity to just bless them also with kind words that they maybe wouldn't have received before, but now that I have their attention, I'll tell them, like, I'll look them in the eye and just tell them, do you know how loved you are? How much God loves you? I just want to tell you that. You are so loved. You are so seen. You are so heard. And you are just precious and important. And I'll tell them that. So I will take that opportunity oftentimes, sort of a captive audience. Because they want to give me their attention in that moment. And so then I'll take another opportunity to bless them even more with words. So anyway, again, I would ask, like, what is your take on that? What do you think? Share with me in the comments. I would love to hear.